Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com here at THSCA Coaching School and Convention in San Antonio with the head coach of the Mexia Black Cats, Valerie Sandoval's husband. Hey, how are you, Coach?
Thank you for having me, and thank you for having
Frank,
Valerie as well.
Frank Sandoval. Let's first talk about your wife,
yes,
who
sir.
slid into our DMs, basically. And we were talking about 7-on-7. To give people background, we're talking about 7-on-7 on the show. And we're talking about teams that impressed us. We're mentioning a team here and there. And then suddenly, somebody hops into comments.
Yes, sir.
Valerie Sandoval says, hey, what about Mexia? Why you guys always hating on Mexia? Why you guys always hating on Mexia? My question is, will you apologize to her for us?
I did. I made it right. Don't worry about it. She understood where y'all are coming from. There's a lot of teams.
No disrespect.
That y'all have to cover.
No disrespect.
You're good.
That's fine. I just want to make sure. Because, listen, if you don't like me, that's fine. Really and truly,
I love
it's fine.
you guys.
It's fine. But if she doesn't like me, then we got problems.
Small
You know what I mean?
problem.
Because, listen, that's you know.
That Mama Bear came
if
out.
Mama
You
ain't
were
happy,
talking about her babies. You were talking about her black cats, and she wasn't very happy
If Mama
about
ain't
it.
happy, ain't nobody happy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your Black Cats. Last year, you know, an up and down season. Moment flashes where you guys looked like it was really going to be the breakthrough. You know, in times where you guys kind of fell short. How is it now that you take that and you make it so that it's a lot more of the former as opposed to the
You know,
latter?
if you watch our season, kind of how we progressed, we had a new staff, new kids. They were getting used to us, and we were getting used to them, and it was just a lot of change. But as the season went on, we got significantly better, and I think it was evident as we played along. The biggest thing is just figuring out exactly what you're saying. What's that extra step?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do we do that? How do we accomplish it? And it started in the off season back in December when we said, you know what, we got to outwork some people. We got to do some things a little bit differently than what we've done in the past. We've asked our kids to compete in every sport: in basketball, baseball, track, powerlifting. And I think it's kind of helped us a little bit. You saw some of the results in 7-on-7. We were very fortunate those kids went out and, you know, they just worked. They're there and they're working hard. And I think that's the step in that right direction we talk about.
You know, we mentioned 7-on-7. Of course, we were joking about your wife a little bit earlier, but really and truly, it can be a very important thing for your team. From your perspective, what is it that your team gained? Why was it important for them to have that success at 7-on-7?
I love to hate 7-on-7, and I hate to love it. I really do. Ask my coaches. They stay away from me on Saturday mornings. For us personally, our quarterback's young. It's going to be his first year starting. He has all the tools. He just needs to figure out coverages and some of those things. Defensively, I want to see kids running, covering space, and just when the ball's thrown, we better be at the ball with them. So, you know, that's what I want to measure. And ultimately, every time we go out there, I want our kids to compete. You know, fight to the very end. And if they beat you when that last second goes off, they beat you. But, you know, we're going to make it tough on people.
You know, you guys are going to make it tough on people. You got a number of really, really interesting weapons. The guy who stands out to me is Jadrian Smith. This is a kid who – real lightning in a bottle. Yeah. You know, you're the guy who gets to see him in practice. You're the guy who interacts with him on a daily basis. What about him makes Jadrian Smith so special?
You know, it starts up front. You know, the offensive line is coming back. There's 4 or 5 coming back, and we're adding a kid we feel like can help us a little bit. They're gonna be a little bit bigger and stronger. And Jadrian's just a hard kid to tackle. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to tackle him over and over and over and over, and that's hard for teams to do. And hopefully, again, the better our offensive line is, I think the more dangerous he is.
On the other side, defensively, what is it about this team? Where's the strength of this defense? What level is it at, or is it all the way through?
I think if you look at it, the first 2 guys that are going to hit you are safeties because they're both 6'2" and run well, and you know they can play in space. Our linebacker, Drayvon Cooper, he's a good little linebacker. We're going to have to be better on the defensive line for us to give us ourselves a chance. And of course, there's some guys that graduated that we feel like we're going to have to try to replace, and we feel like we can.
You're in your second year here at Mexia. What do you know about this job now, about this place now, that maybe you didn't know if we were talking to you last year?
I know that this community genuinely loves their Mexia Black Cats and their athletes. I mean, they really do, and they're going to do anything to support them, which is amazing because you can't go around saying that everywhere. The community's very supportive. I got a group of dads that'll do anything. They're up there on you know, game days cooking and taking care of people when they need to be taken care of, and it's just really fun to watch. The administration's, you know, it's kind of trickled out, and there's like this synergy in Mexia, which is really fun, and I've I'm very grateful for my staff, man. I have a great staff, and I love those guys. So there's a lot of really cool things going on right now. We're really happy about that.
It's a fun time to be in Mexia. The only kind of problem maybe is you made someone at the UIL extremely mad somehow because UIL realignment rolls around, and you guys are put in like the district of doom.
It's a tough district.
In 4A. I want to hear your perspective on the district. We already talked to Coach Allen Hare from Salado, and he gave us his opinion. I want to hear yours.
My opinion is that it's going to be a tough district. I don't make predictions. I don't worry about those because, they are what they are. All I can do is ask my kids to play hard and ask my coaches to coach hard. It's going to be a fun district because, we had it last year going to week 11 where we had a team sitting first that ended up going to fourth, and we're sitting in fourth, go to second. I mean, you have a bunch. It's going to be that same district plus another really good team in Madisonville. So we're looking forward to the challenge. We're not going to mention any predictions by anybody, but when we're at the bottom of the predictions, it is what it is.
So, hey, we'll speak. We're friends. We're friendly.
Yes.
We got Mexia 6th out of 7 teams in the district, and you said you're not in the business of predictions. What are we going to do when you make the playoffs? Like, because we got to come up with a plan. When you guys make the playoffs and we're wrong, we got to come up with something.
Hey,
you want to call on the show?
6. No, I like you guys picking us 6. You picked us 6 last year. We finished second, fortunately.
There you go.
So 6 is a good number.
There we go.
Me.
See,
so
this is nice.
There's no pressure. And I told my kids, because they want to come up to me and say, Coach Sandoval, can you believe the disrespect? I said, listen, guys. I said, look at the history of Mexia Black Cat football. I said, until we start doing it consistently, I said, no one's going to respect you. So. We're you guys, y'all are in the business of doing that, and we respect it and appreciate it. And
we're in the business of being wrong too.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
That's why they play the games, and the great thing to me about your district is you're basically one game away. Like you steal a game against Fairfield, right? You steal a game against Fairfield. Suddenly, the whole district gets turned upside down.
Yeah,
exactly. He's Frank Sandoval. He's the head coach of the Mexia Black Cats, and now he's got to spin the Dick's Sporting Goods wheel of questions. It's got questions on here. None of them will get you fired, but if you spin the wheel, you have to answer the question.
I got you,
man.
Give
it a spin. Frank Sandoval from Mexia spinning the Dick's Sporting Goods wheel of questions. We'll see what he lands on. What's he land on? He lands on, all right, I want to hear about your very first coaching gig. Your very first paid coaching gig.
I'm glad you said paid because paid's a little bit different than some of the.
So, you were slumming it a little bit sometimes.
Brian O'Neill, head football coach, athletic director at Nevada Community, hired me. He actually had a funny story behind it. He goes, man, I posted that job as a Spanish position. I'm a Spanish major. He goes, I never thought I'd hire anybody that could do it. He goes, I thought it was going to go open. I thought I was going to be shortened assistant. So he posted it. I got in there. I was very fortunate. Coach O'Neill, had a great staff. Reminds me a lot of the staff we have now. But it was fun. I coached my first year. I coached. I got to be the 7th grade and 8th grade B team basketball coach. And I'm telling you, I had a Bobby Knight moment one time, and I didn't let my kids sit down at halftime. Hey, we were losing like 13-2. We come back and won not overtime, at the last second by like a point, which was really fun and enjoyable. And it's one of those things you look back at and you're going, man, that was a lot more enjoyable than what I thought at the time.
Then did you miss your true calling as a basketball coach?
No, there's something about football that does it for me, not so much basketball.
All right. Well, again, I want to start this conversation, or end this conversation where we started it. Please apologize to your lovely wife. We're very sorry. We love the Black Cats.
I'm telling you right now, she's going to be y'all's biggest fan just because you said her name. That's it.
Frank Sandoval, head coach of Mexia Black Cats. Coach, appreciate your time.
Thank you.